Hey everybody, this is Ghost Train 615, and I want to send a shout out to a couple of people that are well experienced in the use of common sense. I want to send out a shout out to E.T. Richards at Providing Common Sense one person at a time, to Sister Honestly Speaking, and my most recent contact, Battle Cat, whose YouTube videos kind of struck a chord with me. I caught it last Saturday. And I'll tell you something. All three got a lot to say. And it's the right things. What's up, y'all? Okay, today I'm going to talk about the disastrous events that have been taking place in Baltimore recently. Over this guy, Freddie Gray. First of all, this overambitious nutsack, Marilyn Mosby, is not well versed in law enforcement or what or any parts of the law should be used in making a case. A little advice to you, you sleaze. Overambition is not going to win you any space in court. In case you slept through some of your law classes, you have to have some genuine physical evidence to prove homicide or murder. And so far, what we're getting from you is a dog and pony show. You're about ambition, and that seems to be all you care about, isn't it, you sleaze? And there hasn't been one mention once of any of the real victims of the savages that you're practically in bed with. The real black victims who lost their homes, their businesses, and everything they worked for. They can't pay their employees because their employees don't have a job to go to. Good job, Miss Mosby. Very good. It's too bad you're not speaking of them or thinking about them. Again, see the first statement I made. Your overambition. Second point I'm going to bring up. You claim that this jerk, Freddie Gray, didn't commit a crime while carrying a switchblade or a spring-loaded knife. I got news for you. That's illegal in all 50 states. In case you slept through that part of law school too. No state permits that. So your little gonzo theory about Freddie Gray's arrest being illegal is a sign of things to come. A very serious sign in you blowing this whole thing to hell. You blew it to hell anyway the moment you started running your mouth. Just like that sleaze pretending to be a mayor. What and where you two jerks ought to be is in jail. Your mayor pal has a big mouth, yet she wants the Baltimore police investigated? Why isn't somebody investigating her for her big mouth statements that she made? Or does she think that that's still going to go away? Or maybe she'll ask you to try to cover it up for her. Either way, it's not going to make you look smart. All I see for you, like CCR says, is a bad moon rising. And it's hanging over you right now, Miss Mosby. You better make sure you know what you're doing. You better make sure you have your act together, or you're going to look like a bona fide fool before the whole thing is over. You want to convict these 6 cops because you personally want it. Because you're appeasing to the savages. Not because of the facts and or of the law itself. Again, which you still have regard for. What I'm going to give you, Miss Mosby, is a sentence that has never changed for centuries when it comes to the law. And whether you like it or not, I'm going to say it. It is still considered innocent until proven guilty. I'd like you to repeat those words for me so I can hear them. Innocent until proven guilty. And so far, you have no proof. Either that or your so-called proof just went right down the toilet, where your head ought to be right now. I don't really give a damn about your election campaign. I wouldn't elect you to dog catcher. There's a lot of people saying right now the same thing that I'm coming out with. Overambition. Overambition and wanting to smile and pose for the cameras so you can appease to the savages. Which brings me to another point. You jerks out there that caused all the destruction to other black people that didn't ask for it, to your black senior citizen populace, who now, thanks to you destroying the local CVS drugstores, have nowhere to go to get their prescriptions filled. Good job, morons. Good job on that one. You don't want people to call you savages or animals. Well, I'm going to go full tilt now. This is where you get the full tilt treatment. So, goddamn it, quit acting like a bunch of freaking savages. You already gave yourselves away by displaying your dumb asses on the network news so everybody knows who you are. Which is why other black people who are raising their kids the right way and teaching them values have sat them in front of their TV sets and pointed to the screen telling their kids, we don't want you doing stuff like this. You will bring shame and dishonor to our family. We raised you better than this. We don't want you to be like these hooligans. Do I need to make my point even further? This is just so you can understand that to everybody who's lost what they worked for, you know who the blame belongs on. Your big-mouth racist mayor, and the second next in line, your overambitious prosecutor, whose only interest is to look good for the TV cameras. That's her purpose. And to be elected. Miss Mosby, what are you, a clown? Are you that out of touch with the law that you can't even pick up a law book and read the table of contents? I'm going to say this right now. To the victims that lost everything they ever worked for, unlike these savages who don't believe in working a damn day in their lives, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you had to go through what you had to go through, that you had to lose everything you ever worked for in your entire lives. And the senior citizen populace, the black senior citizen populace, deserves an apology from these animals. You animals that are responsible. You screwed it up for them. You screwed it all up for everybody that works for a living. Again, unlike you, any of you, or all of you. And I hope you're able to live with yourselves and sleep with yourselves at night for what you've done. I'm kind of glad. My next point. Toya Graham, who found out what her son was doing, her knucklehead son was doing, running around with a bunch of thugs trying to take the police on. She went and smacked him right on camera. She didn't care if the camera was running. But that's what we need as parents. And you limp turds can eat it. Because if it was your kid hanging around with a bunch of fools, being disorderly and disrespectful to the law, what are you going to do? Put him on a timeout? Like Marilyn Mosby, you limp turds are also a bunch of gutless cowards. And it's your fault, among the savages too, that Baltimore's in the mess is in, that we as hardworking Americans are in the mess we are in because of you. Miss Mosby, take some advice from somebody with common sense. Get your stupid ass off this case and let somebody with experience that knows what they're doing do the job. Because again, I wouldn't trust you to run a pet store. You'd probably burn it down as soon as I walk out the door. Forget your little political ambition. That's not going to work either, because this thing's going to blow up in your face. And it will. It will. You have nothing to back any of the crap that's been coming out of your mouth so far. You know? It's one of those press conferences those press conferences don't smell like shit. But it's all coming out of your mouth. And the mouth of that other jerk. The pretend mayor of Baltimore. Oh, I forgot to add Chief Batty Man to the mix too. Because he sold out his own troops. The Baltimore police need to do the right thing. First thing they need to do is get rid of some unwanted weight. The weight that's been dragging them down since this whole fiasco started. Oh, well, Miss Mosby, did I forget to mention the fact that your words were Freddie Gray committed no crime? Well, yes, he did. He committed a plethora of crimes. Most of them involving drugs. And there was, I believe, one on the list for burglary. What did you say again? And why aren't you bringing that up at your little pathetic press conferences? Oh, because I guess it doesn't fit your ambition or your political agenda. See what happens when you live in the real world? Living in the real world, you can learn a lot of things. But I'm going to end this saying right now, Miss Mosby. Pride becomes a fall. Well, pride comes before a fall does. You're going to be taking a very serious fall before your pride feels it. I'm going to tell you for the last time. Get the hell off this case now before you stir up a hornet's nest that you're not walking away from. The rest of you useless savages, you made yourselves look like the fools that you are. You all can go to hell. I'm out.